Sleeping rough is certainly no picnic. Take it from Tim Ringstor, the CEO of the Jersey Competition Regulatory Authority and trustee of Sanctuary Trust. After walking every road in the island for charity last year, Tim has set himself a new challenge: to sleep out in all 12 of Jersey's parishes in the hope of raising money and awareness for Sanctuary Trust. Connect Magazine's chosen charity for 2023, Sanctuary Trust provides accommodation and support to men who've reached a crisis in their lives, be it homelessness, economic hardship, mental health issues, or struggles with addiction. In this podcast, Abby Nance, the fundraising manager for Sanctuary Trust, spoke to Tim about his latest challenge, what it's been like, what he's hoping to achieve, and how it's made him reflect on his own life.
Now, some of you may remember that last year Tim walked every single road in the island to raise money for Autism Jersey and the JSPCA. Now he's going to sleep out in all 12 parishes over the course of the next 12 months for 2023. So basically going from walking man to sleep out man. So aside from the fundraising aspect of this, Tim, what do you get personally from these challenges?
Well, this is a great opportunity of just giving something back to the community, really. I mean, I've been involved in a number of charities over the years, so this was a great opportunity, and I'm really pleased that I've been made a trustee of Sanctuary Trust. It's a fantastic charity doing a great deal of good work, and I was surprised at the demand for their services. So for me, you know, being able to contribute something back to the community, something back for Sanctuary Trust gives me a great deal of personal satisfaction.
What inspired you to come up with this particular challenge?
Well, as you mentioned before, I did an island walk last year, every road, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And when I started to find out a bit more about Sanctuary Trust and the work they were doing, I was obviously thinking about, well, what can I do to raise the profile? What other sort of event could I do? And I don't really know how I came up with it. I saw, obviously, every year the Sanctuary Trust do the sleep out in the car park, which is brilliant, and it was a great event last year. And I thought, well, I wonder if I can expand on that. So that's really how the idea came up, and hopefully, you know, using every single parish and, you know, raising the awareness through each parish, sleeping outside of the parish hall, I thought was a great opportunity to reach the widest community possible.
You've done 2 out of the 12. You've done St Brelard, Grouville. How's it been?
Tougher than I thought, I have to say. I think most people have camped over the years, and I, in my younger day, did quite a bit of camping, but not without a tent. And not just sleeping out this time of the year. So, the cold was something, but once you're in the sleeping bags, not too bad. But, you know, nature calls, and occasionally you've got to get out of bed at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And luckily there's public toilets at St Brelard, so I managed to go there, but very cold, very cold. And, you know, Grouville was different. There's not much cover there, so a bit more exposure there. But, you know, I think what I learnt from that was that, we were out there probably for 8 hours. That's a very short period of time, because people who are homeless, you know, they've got nowhere to go afterwards. I was lucky enough to go home. I had a hot shower. I went to bed for a couple of hours to get some sleep, because I didn't get a lot of sleep. So it really brought it home to me how exposed people are when they are sleeping rough.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, you're doing this for 12 nights, but people don't get the choice, and they'll be doing it night after night. Now, you roped in a couple of your poor friends to do this with you, and I had the pleasure of meeting them at the first sleep out. What a couple of characters they are. How have they, how do I put this, helped or maybe hindered the experience?
Well, no, it's great. I mean, look, they're great friends of mine. They did a lot of walking with me last year. Steve Keneally and Gary Collins. So I'm really pleased for their support, because I was planning to do this on my own, because I didn't want a big crowd to sort of crowd control and all those things. And we've got to think about, you know, safety and security and all those things. But I'm so pleased that they said they were going to join me. quite interesting that Gary and I didn't get a lot of sleep because Steve actually snored most of the night and then woke up in the morning and said, oh, that was a lousy night, wasn't it? And we both said, well, I don't know, you kept us up all night, so you must have got some sleep. So no, it was great, good company, actually, good experience. And I think they learnt a lot from it as well.
So probably off the back of that, I was going to ask you what items would be the most valuable things to take with you? Probably some earplugs, but what kind of things have you really kind of been relying on for these sleep outs?
Yeah, obviously a decent sleeping bag is obviously the main thing. And, you know, we managed to put some insulation underneath the sleeping bag just to keep the cold from coming through, because actually, in fact, you forget the cold coming from underneath the granite is, well, bitter. So trying to keep warm, a decent sleeping bag. We haven't experienced too much bad weather, really. We were lucky the last couple of nights. It's been okay. But, you know, we've got a cover for the sleeping bags should it rain, so just give us a bit of protection. So sleeping bag. What I would have liked is a decent pillow, because your head is never comfortable. So, yeah, I'll take something to give my head a bit more comfort next time, I think.
What would you say has been sort of the most surprising aspect of it for you, experiencing living out in the cold like this?
I have to say, when we did down at St Brellard's, at St Albans, a couple of our people that we were being looked after popped around and gave us a lot of support, and we were really grateful for the awareness that we were raising, because they're going through it and they were really appreciative of what we were doing. So I was really pleased to see that. That was humbling. And also we had a few people pass, give us some money, actually contributed on the night. And so really I think it is starting to bring awareness to people that, you know, there is a problem in Jersey. It's hidden. People don't like to talk about it too much, but there is a problem, and, you know, hopefully through this process we'll raise a bit more awareness for all of the charities that support homeless people, not just men. You know, everybody's doing a great job, but more needs to be done.
Absolutely. And one of the people who came along for your first sleep out was actually the new Lieutenant Governor. He's a new patron for the charity. What did it mean to have his support there on the night? Yeah,
that was terrific. I have to say I wasn't expecting that. And Frank, our chairman, told me literally, you know, that afternoon that he was going to pop down and say hello. So good motivational, very, very nice gentleman, as everybody who's met him will know. Great that he's the patron. And, you know, he's actually said to me that he's going to join me in St Saviour's, which is my last sleep out at the end of the year. So, yeah, hopefully he will join us, and, you know, we'll be able to sort of chat through the experience over the last year, and again, another opportunity to raise awareness.
Yeah, we'll hold him to that. 15th of December, we'll have to have the Governor with you.
Yeah.
Get him a sleeping bag.
Yep.
So, you know, you've got 10 left. What are you most or least looking forward to, do you think?
Oh, no, what am I least looking forward to? Probably if we experience heavy rain and strong winds. That's the one thing I'm not looking forward to, because I don't think that's going to be particularly comfortable, or thunderstorms. I went through a hurricane a few years ago, and I don't particularly welcome the wind and the thunder anymore. But probably the most I'm looking forward to is meeting more people, really, to have a chat through, and if people want to understand a bit more about Sanctuary Trust and the various charities that support homeless people, you know, that's what I'm looking forward to, just engaging with a lot more people and raising the awareness.
And what would you say the experience so far? We appreciate you're only a short amount through at the moment, but what would you say it's made you appreciate most?
It's made me appreciate that I've been very lucky in my life not to be in this position. I think, you know, I've worked hard all my life and, you know, provided, but you know, that's the same for other people. They've worked hard but found themselves in a situation where they are homeless, and I've been lucky enough not to experience that. So for me, I just really, really appreciate, again, what I've got, and appreciate that I don't have to live on the street or out of my car or at the back of a van or hotbedding or whatever the situation that people find themselves in. And I think, you know, the more we can do to help these people get back on their feet, you know, maybe find a job, and it's really bringing the individuals' self-respect back and giving them some independence, and hopefully through the work we do and the other charities do, we can eradicate this over many years.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, Tim. You touched earlier on the fact that you joined Sanctuary Trust last November, and you've given us some really great insights as to what it's meant to be involved. What do you hope to achieve during your time as a trustee?
Again, it comes back to, raising awareness, raising a bit of cash, giving support to our team, because we have a terrific team. They're quite young. They do an amazing job. I'm amazed at the, it's very stressful. It's long hours. They're absolutely dedicated to what they do. So making sure that we can give them as much support, because without them, we can't provide the support to the people that need it. So I think hopefully, we can make sure that financially the charity is stable over many years, and that we're able to help more and more people.
What about your next challenge?
Well, I have started. I haven't publicly said this. I've started learning to unicycle, would you believe? It's something I thought about doing about 30 years ago, never got around to it. So I can unicycle now. So one of my aims will be to cycle around the island on a unicycle. So I haven't said when I'm going to do that yet, but throughout this year, practice, and when I'm ready, then that will be a challenge that I'm determined to do.
Well, I think we must make that part of this challenge, and I think we can advertise the fact that you'll do it at one of the parish sleep-outs. We'll get you on your unicycle. Tim Ringstor, thank you so much for your support to Sanctuary Trust, for what you're doing this year, for the awareness that you are raising, hopefully all the money that you're raising. We haven't touched on how much we're hoping to raise with this challenge, but if we could get sort of upwards of 12,000, it would really be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, welcome any contributions that people are able to make, would be very welcome.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck with the rest of the challenge.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Abby and Tim for taking the time to chat about the 12 parish sleep out. You can next catch Tim sleeping rough in St Mary on the 31st of March. To offer your support and to help get Tim through his cold, sleepless nights, make sure to donate to Sanctuary Trust. To do this, you can visit their website at www.sanctuarytrust.org.je. For more on Tim's challenge, do make sure to pick up a free copy of Connect magazine.